Don't you feel like wherever you go nowadays, grocery store, post office, wherever you go, people just don't care about each other anymore? It's really sad. I see it everywhere I go. Here in Hawaii, where I'm at right now, it's a lot of people that are just barely getting by, working at Target or Walmart and making $15 an hour and living in a really expensive place, staying with family, and there's no way out for them. And it's crazy that people who have money just do not care about the average person. We're not lifting each other up as human beings like we should. And that's a problem because at a certain point, I think the tide is going to turn. And the people who are have nots are going to turn on the people that are haves. And it's going to get ugly. There's going to be uprisings and rebellions on everything. This whole system is bound to come down. It's bound to come down. And I really feel like if you're working a job, a normal $15 an hour job in 2025, then you are behind. You have got some work catching up to do this year. And it's just obvious that people, wherever you go, don't care about each other anymore. It's really depressing. And the growing number of homelessness and poverty shooting through the roof, it is just now, as of January 2025, spiked. The homelessness has spiked, and what are we going to do about it? It's as if nobody cares. People have it harder than ever, and people care less about each other than ever. At a certain point, we got to start caring. We got to get out of our own self, fantasizing bubble where we only worry about ourselves, the only child mentality. It's got to come down. It's got to come down. And I think that this might be the year to do it. Because when people can't get by anymore, it's gonna break. It's just gonna break. And the powers that be, I feel like, have really been trying to make it slow down the depression in a way. Because if it all happens at once, then people are more likely to protest in the streets. But if it happens slowly, you may not have realized that it happened at all. And that's the scary part, that we're slowly, more and more each year, caring about each other less and less, getting poorer and poorer, losing our freedom more and more. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. It's time to make a shift. It's time to change. I don't know what it has to be, whether it has to be a new monetary system where we got to shift out of capitalism, which is destroying our planet anyway, or what it's going to take if it has to be total collapse before that happens and the grocery store shelves go empty. I don't know what it has to be. But at a certain point, we've got to start opening our hearts back to each other again. We got to be a neighbor. We got to be a friend to the people around us. They need us right now. And it's just breaking my heart to see it everywhere we go. People just don't care. And I get it in some ways because there's so many people. The world is a bit overpopulated. So I just think that it's understandable that people would want to act this way, and it may be a difficult thing to make happen, to actually make progressive change on. But this is the challenge. We're all going to face a challenge in this next coming year. And I just want to see people have the slightest opening. Maybe when you go out into the grocery store, you ask the cashier how you can make their day a little bit better. Or you tell them a joke. Or you ask them how their family's doing. Little openings of your heart to others make a huge difference. They make a huge difference. More than you know. And people are just looking for a way to get by. And I just want to see people love each other again. Because it's been a long time of growing more and more divided, Democrat, Republican, the haves and the have-nots, rich, poor, people of different ethnicities fighting division. And it's time to let it go. It's time to come back together and be as one. It's important now more than ever because we're having more challenges with our climate. Our planetary life support systems are falling apart because we've overused the ability of this planet to heal itself. And now we're all in the same boat. If we don't come together, then we can't tell the story of how we saved our species. It'll get to be like Mad Max, and it'll be a dystopian future if we don't start caring about one another. Just think about all the ways that you open up to others, whether that's a friend or a family, and the ways that you engage them in conversation and help them, the ways that you open up. And just start doing that with everybody. Because everybody needs love. Everybody. And if I can offer some stranger a piece of love, a piece of my heart, especially on a platform like this, where it can be amplified and get attention, be a good messenger for a greater awakening, then I'll take it. I'll upload a video every day talking about opening up your heart. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to have a heart. To care about another person. What an incredible gift to even be able to have that experience. To be as one and know that we are all just one big connected mass of energy, exploring what it means to come together and come back apart again. And I'm just excited to see all the ways that we are able to transcend our differences, transcend the money, and come back into realizing that we have to care about each other. We have to care about each other. So just take it from me. I've gone through periods where I haven't cared. I've let my heart grow black for long periods of time. Every time it gets eroded and goes soft, opens back up to the world. So these days I'm more interested in trying to keep it open and realize that you got to stop paying attention to the mainstream media, because you can't possibly handle all of that devastating news and then care about people. Because if you let your heart get overwhelmed by too much, then that's when it shuts down, starts to grow black, and you're not caring for anybody. Look at these people with their sign right here. Peace in Ukraine. It's beautiful. They have a sign that is for a land that's thousands of miles away, and they care. They care about people in Ukraine. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that wonderful? And I'm controversial like this. I'll say that Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter and all lives matter all at the same time. Because ultimately a lot of those statements, those slogans are made to divide people. But the reality is we're all in the same boat. We're all in this together. And we have to care about people of all ethnicities and all professional professions. And the sun is shining today. If you have the opportunity to reach out to somebody that you think might need a little bit of love, might need a little bit of care, maybe you could be the person that makes the difference and reaches out. It's hard to reach out, I understand, because we feel like people won't be open to it, and then we can't handle rejection if they aren't open to it. They don't text us back, answer our call, return it. But maybe you can let the results, the attachment to the results go. Maybe you can just care. Maybe you can just care and love without the attachment to the results. Give freely of yourself and see that we are all going through something. And if you have a moment to recreate a connection that you once had, this is a really good time of year to do it. It's a new year. You have the moment on your side. People are more isolated and lonely now than ever, especially older folks, especially younger folks. So reach out and tell someone that you care about them today. It's different than love. You could say something like, hey, I care about you, and I just want to make sure that you're okay, you're doing okay. You have no idea how much that means to some people. So, anyway, do something below the video. Thank you for being here. I love you.